And a good Thursday afternoon. Welcome to Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube, LakinSports.com. Brett Hendricks with you for Bronx baseball here this windy, dirty afternoon at Laux Park in Lakin. Today, the Bronx and the Ulysses Tigers scheduled for a doubleheader, but we'll wait and see what Mother Nature has in store. But we will get Game 1 started here between the Bronx and the Tigers. The Bronx coming off a thrilling 9-inning win over over Stanton County in their season opener on our last broadcast. So the Bronx come in 1-0. The second game the Bronx were supposed to play that evening was definitely canceled because of the cold and the wind. And that will be made up at a later date, but yet to be determined. And we'll have that most likely when it is rescheduled and they decide to play that makeup game with Syracuse. But today, temperatures in the 80s, but you really wouldn't know it with the wind blowing about 35 miles an hour out of the south. And it's definitely going to be an interesting afternoon when the ball is in the air here at Laux Park. We have a lot of great sponsors that make Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube possible. We're going to take one quick timeout. We'll be back with the starting lineups right after this. Thanks for joining us here this afternoon.
Home improvements that have had to wait. The dream vacation your family deserves. Even college tuition. Garden City State Bank can help you make it all happen now, not someday. With a home equity line of credit, you can borrow up to 90% of the value of your home, and the interest may be tax deductible. Plus, there are no closing costs, no application fees, and no annual fees. A fast, easy, convenient home equity line of credit from Garden City State Bank, a branch of the Kearney County Bank. Subject to credit approval, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Socks at Flashback's Diner, Highway 50, Lakin. Fantastic burgers, Coney and Chicago hot dogs, Philly, steak, BLT, and chicken sandwiches, along with ice cream treats like the traditional banana split, sundaes, shakes, malts, and cones. Dine in or carry out. Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Socks at the one and only fantastic Flashback's Diner, Highway 50, Lakin.
And welcome back to Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. We're at Laux Park, where the Bronx getting set to battle the Ulysses Tigers in non-league action here this afternoon. The starting lineups for Ulysses, I just have last names. The first names weren't provided, so that's just what we're going to go with. But leading off in right field, wearing number 8, Walker. Batting second in center field, wearing number 9, Isak. Batting third and pitching, wearing number 10, Heredia. In the cleanup spot at first base, wearing number 35, Navarrete. And batting in the fifth spot at third base, Degalado. Guerrero at second base, wearing number 16. Gallegos in left field, wearing number 28. Reed at shortstop, wearing number 7. And wearing number 6 and catching is Warner. Here's the starting lineups for your Lakin Bronx. The Bronx once again 1-0 on this season after their extra inning win over Stanton County in their season opener. They start this way. At second base, leading off, wearing number 2, Drew Patterson. Batting second at shortstop, wearing number 1, Armando Salcedo. Batting third and catching, number 20, Adric Gomez. Batting in the cleanup spot in left field, wearing number 5, Gabe Cox. Eden White, man's first base. He wears number 24 and will bat fifth. Batting sixth in center field, wearing number 13, Alex Luce. At third base, batting seventh, wearing number 26, Caden Mings. Batting eighth in right field, wearing number 11, Eli Bemis. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, wearing number 0, Grant Mendenhall. Bodie McCormick on the hill will not bat. Bodie, the starting pitcher in Game 1 of this season, but he was part of the no decision. Winning that contest was Caden Mings on in relief when the Bronx won it in the bottom of the ninth. Bodie, in his one appearance, comes into tonight with a 2.10 ERA. He struck out 6, walked 3 in 3 1/3 innings in the opener. He allowed 1 run, that one earned, and allowed 1 hit out of 15 batters faced. So a good season opening outing for Bodie McCormick, matching his total from a year ago of strikeouts. He only had 6 all of last year and matched that total with 6 strikeouts in the opener while walking just 3. The Bronx, even though it's just one game into the season, they are batting .311 as a team. Drew Patterson leading off, bats .333. Armando Salcido batting .250. Armando was 1 for 4. Patterson was 2 for 6 in that opener. Gabe Cox, the hot bat for the Bronx, he was 3 for 6. Eli Bemis batting 1 for 5 in that first game. Alex Luce 1 for 3. Adric Gomez was 2 for 5. He comes in batting .400 after one game. Eden White was 2 for 6, batting .333. Caden Mings batting .200. He was 1 for 5. And Bodie Bachman came off the bench. He was 0 for 2. Bronx with 2 doubles and 2 triples, so 4 extra base hits in that one game on Monday night. Coaches meeting at home plate. And let's see, I've got my camera that's froze up, so let me unfreeze that. Thought I had it unfrozen earlier, but not the case, so here we go. And now I think we're up to date. Lady Bronx softball team on the hill at the North Rec Complex here this afternoon, also taking on Ulysses. Lady Bronx are 2-0 on the season after a season opening sweep at Stanton County. And the Bronx take the field. Bodie McCormick, no decision in the season opener on Monday. Takes the hill for the Bronx. Around the infield, Caden Mings at third, Armando Salcido at short, Drew Patterson at second, and Eden White at first base. In left field, Gabe Cox, Alex Luce in center, and Eli Bemis in right field. Doing the catching for the Bronx is Adric Gomez, and Bodie McCormick making his second start of the season. Temperature right around 80 degrees as we get started here this afternoon, but the wind is about half of that. And it will be a problem, anything hit in the air here this afternoon. Throw to second, and we're ready to go here at Laux Park in Lakin. Once again, I'm Brett Hendricks. Thanks for joining me for Bronx Baseball here this afternoon.
Up to bat for Ulysses is number 8, Walker.
Walker will lead it off for the Tigers. Bats from the right side. Bodie, a right-hander. Here's the stretch and the first pitch. And missing high for ball 1. From the windup, here's the 1-0. Caught the inside corner for strike 1. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. High and inside, but swinging away is Walker, and he's down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bodie wearing a knee brace. He had knee surgery during the offseason. He's been cleared to pitch, has not been cleared to bat or run the bases yet. And that breaking pitch stayed high and inside. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Isak on deck for the Tigers. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled straight back and out of play. Well, actually off the top of the net. Alex Luce in center field, playing just shaded over towards the left field side. And that low and inside, and count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter in the top of the first. just underway here at Laux Park. And that pitch outside and a leadoff walk to Walker brings up Isak, the center fielder. Quite a contrast between the weather today and the weather on Monday. The second game the Bronx were supposed to play Monday night was called because of the high winds and cold temperatures. Temperatures on Monday were around 50 degrees when we started. We had some rain mixed with snow before the Bronx were done with their game with Stanton County. Isak bats from the left side, pitch is low, runner off on the play, and the ball rolls into center field, and the runner is safe. Ball won the count. Now they shade Alex loose even farther towards left field. And that pitch inside for ball 2. Actually, the way anything is going to loop towards left field today with this strong south wind. Here's the 2-0 pitch, fouled off the third base side out of play. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 1 strike. I'll figure it out. Bodie checks the runner at second. Good lead out there. Here's a 2-1 outside, 3-1 to count. Heredia on deck for the Tigers. Already with 1 in scoring position. We're just underway in the top of the first. And that pitch is high, and McCormick has walked the first 2 hitters he has faced. Heredia comes to the plate, bats from the right-hand side, 2 on, nobody out. McCormick starts him out high for ball 1. We're inside here in the press box, but it does, I don't know, just the feel and the way you can kind of hear it under the window. It's almost like it's picking up some more outside there. They were talking gusts up to 55 miles an hour this afternoon. Pitch was fouled back, count even 1 ball, 1 strike. Looking at Eli Bemis in right field, he's probably playing way too deep. The way that wind is whipping in here. Pitch is high. Count is 2-1. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I do.
Strike called on the outside corner. Bodie, a quick check of the runners. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Line towards second. Patterson bobbles. Picks up and throws in time to get the runner at first base. Runners advance to second and third. 4-3 on the putout, 4-1 away. It brings up the first baseman, Navarrete. Bats from the right side. Now 2 runners in scoring position. Fouled off the first base side. Strike 1. And a swing and a miss. Count 0-2 to Navarrete. Degalado on deck. And a called third strike at the knees. First strikeout of the afternoon for Bodie McCormick, and that's 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up the third baseman, Degalado. Batting now with 2 on and 2 outs in the top of the first inning. First pitch is high for ball one. Swinging, strike one. Count evens. One pitch stays high. Count goes to 2-1. And that's outside. Count 3 balls and 1 strike. Bodie winds. There's the 3-1 pitch. And it's upstairs, and the bases are loaded. Now for Gallegos, the left fielder. Second baseman Guerrero at the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Top of the first. Pitch is high for ball one. No. Time was called as Bodie was making the pitch. So no pitch on that play. Count remains 1 ball, no strikes. Did they call it? Did he call it at the plate? The batter, or I'm not sure. There's a line shot up the middle. Armando oversteps on the bag, and that'll do it for our first inning. The Bronx get out of a bases-loaded jam. And no score after 1/2 inning. Bronx coming up. You're watching Bronx Baseball. We'll be back.
Some commercials make it really tempting to buy cheap insurance. That's great if price is the only thing that's important to you. The agency believes cost is important, but protection is what you're really paying for. Rely on the agency to build the policy that protects your property at a price you can afford. Call the agency today at 620-355-6789.
The Lakin Recreation Commission has a full fitness room with 5 treadmills, tread climber, rowing machine, 3 elliptical fitness cross trainers, 2 stationary bikes, and strength training fitness equipment. You'll find just what you need for your own quality workout. The fitness room is open for the public's use free of charge during business hours. For use after business hours, Lakin Rec also has a keyless entry system available. The Lakin Rec Commission, always involved with the youth of Lakin, 702 North Campbell, Lakin, 355-7039. The benefits are endless.
We go to the bottom of the first. Leading off for the Bronx will be Drew Patterson, will be followed by Armando Salcedo and Adric Gomez. Bodie McCormick pitching out of a bases-loaded jam in the top of the first. No score. Drew Patterson going 2 for 6 in the opener on Monday. Batting .333, swings and misses at that first offering. He's down in the count 0-1. Ready on the hill, the right-hander winds. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and a strike called on the outside corner. Patterson, the leadoff hitter, down in the count 0-2. Popped foul, backing out of play. Center fielder for the Tigers said heck with it. He's not even wearing the hat. He don't want to chase it all afternoon. 0-2 pitch once again. Patterson fouling it off the end of the bat. Difference between today and Monday, that would have stung. Today, Drew feels no effects of that foul tip off the end of the bat. High pop foul drifting out of play. Count remains 0-2. Well, one good thing about it, Drew fouling off pitches drives up the pitch count. Ready looks in, the 0-2 pitch, fouled off once again. Radio winds. Patterson with the roller towards third, and it's through the wickets. And Patterson will be on with the error at third base. Brings up Armando Salcido. Armando 1 for 4 in the opener. Had a double. And a run scored. Drew also drove in a run. Throw to first. Patterson sliding back in. Ball got away from the first baseman, but not near enough to try to risk it. Patterson a good lead at first. Going on the pitch, swing and a miss. And Patterson slides in safely with the stolen base. Salcido down in the count 0-1. And the strike called on the outside corner. Salcido down in the count now 0-2. Timeout. Gust of wind, pitcher stepped off the rubber. And just missed outside. 1-2 now the count. Takes low, and the count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Adric on deck for the Bronx. And that one's outside. Full count now to the Bronx shortstop. I think it's picking up some. You can just feel it on the building. Here's the pitch. And swung on and missed. Salcido down on strikes for out number 1. Mm-hmm. Oh, it leaning? Yeah. I believe it's City. First pitch to Adric, fouled off the first base side for strike 1. 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Scoots to the backstop. Patterson goes to third on the wild pitch. In the count, even 1 ball, 1 strike. Getting a lot dirtier towards the sand hills down south, too. Line shot into right field. Patterson will score. Gets past the right fielder. Adric, big turn around first, but will hold there with the RBI single. That'll bring up Gabe Cox, the left fielder. And another timeout on the field for that gust of wind. Cox 3 for 6 in the season opener. Scored twice. Adric on his way to second. Had it stolen before the pitcher even delivered. Cox takes it at the knees for strike one. Throw back to second. Adric back in safely. It is picking up a lot. Here's the 0-1. And it's low and in the dirt. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Eden White on deck. Quick check of the runner at second. Here's the 1-1. And Cox swinging and missing for strike 2. And more dirt. Play resumes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Low and away. Adric on his way to third now will retreat. And they've got him in a pickle. And he's going to make it in there. Yeah, it would be a stolen base because he was on his way. Yep, he was on his way, so. Exactly. 2-2 pitch, foul, backing out of play. And a slow roller to third. They will come home with it. He's in there safe. Actually outran the throw. Cox with the fielder's choice. And our pictures froze up. Let me see if I can unfreeze it here. Blame it on the dirt. There we go. Got it. Got it back going now, I think. Snap throw to first. Back in head first. Safe. Just 1 out in the inning. Bronx lead it 2-0. Fouled off the end of the bat. Just over the first base fence. And I'm not sure what the count is. I know he's got 2 strikes. He's fouled the last 2 off. Oh, and 2, okay. Fouled straight back. Count remains 0-2. Like I mentioned earlier, at least the Bronx are fouling pitches off, working that pitch count. Snap throw to first. Cox back in head first. Pitch just misses for ball 1, 1-2. Alex loose on deck. Swing and a miss, and White down on strikes for 2 away. Second strikeout of the inning for Heredia. I want to congratulate the Bronx track teams on Tuesday night. The Lady Bronx with the win at the Cimarron Invitational. The guys finished second. What a good opening outing for the Bronx track teams. They'll be back in action next Tuesday at the Stanton County Invitational. Middle school track was supposed to run at Stanton County today. That's been postponed to Monday. Brings up Alex Luce. Luce 1 for 3 in game 1, batting .333. Pitch just misses for ball 2. Luce pulling double duty this spring, was a member of the track team on Tuesday. And takes that one off the hip. That's the third hit by pitch he's got so far in 2 games. And he never flinches. No, and that's what's amazing to me is he stands there. He doesn't worry about it.
Well, him getting hit's a little different than Mings getting hit.
I say because he's a wrestler, that's why.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, Alex is limping a little bit off his lead at first there. Caden Mings at the plate takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Now, I would think that Caden Mings' track coach might have a little bit of say on that. Here's the 1-0. And a chopper towards second. Second baseman on the short hop throws to first in time. And that'll do it for the Bronx in the first inning. But a good first inning for Lakin as they pick up 2 runs.
Same thing. Brock always got hit in the ankle. And then he'd come off and
So for the Bronx, 2 runs on 1 hit. They strand 2 and 1 Ulysses error. After 1 complete, it's the Bronx 2 and the Tigers nothing. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronx baseball. At Lakin Drug, their mission is simple. They strive to provide professional pharmacy services with hometown hospitality. Lakin Drug's experienced staff leads with compassion and utilizes modern technology to fit all of your individual needs. Whether it's prescription medications or over-the-counter products, Lakin Drug has the answer to all of your questions. Lakin Drug at 610 O'Loughlin Street in Lakin is a proud supporter of the community of Lakin and Lakin schools. We go to the top of the second inning. Leading it off for the Tigers will be Gallegos, the left fielder. He'll be followed by Reed and Warner. And that one behind the batter takes the count 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Fly ball drifting towards left. Cox has it for out number 1. Played that really well in the wind.
actually that thing stayed up a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought it was going to land right behind the.
Well, I'm kind of like you. I thought it was going to just kind of die there, but wind pushed it. Gabe had it played perfectly. Brings up the shortstop, Reed, with 1 out. Starts off high for ball 1. And that misses for ball 2. Bronx baseball team on the road Monday at Southwestern Heights for High Plains League meeting with the Mustangs. And that pitch low and inside for 3-0. And stays high for a 4-pitch walk. And the runner goes to first. Now batting the catcher, Warner. Warner bats from the right side. McCormick from the stretch. And a roller towards short. Mings will cut it off. Throw over the first baseman. And Reed on his way to third. And Warner wheeling on to second base. So now two runners in scoring position with one out. For the top of the lineup, Walker. Walker reached on a base on balls. Courtesy runner for the catcher, Warner. McCormick's first pitch is high and outside for ball one. Here's the wind. And a ground ball towards short. Takes a high hop. Throw across in time for the out. Nice job by Armando to stay with it. The run does score. Walker out 6-3, gets the RBI on the ground out, and that's two away. Brings up Isak, the center fielder, bats from the left side. Low and in the dirt, ball one. Pitch is outside for ball two. High fly ball. This will be a thrower in the wind. Loose over into left center and dropped it. Run will score. I think he did. I thought he did.
I couldn't tell if it's curved back over. Those are the ones that you think God didn't hit him in the head.
That'll bring up the pitcher, Heredia. Score now tied at 2 apiece. Pitch high and outside for ball one. And our screen's frozen up again, so I don't know what's going on. I have to check my connections. The wind may be playing heck with the connections out there. So in between innings, I'll go, I taped some of them. May have to tape a few more. One pitch, popped up, shallow left, Salcido going out, and it drops. That'll be a base hit and a run scored.
He didn't get a glove on that one.
And still 2 outs in the inning. Brings up the first baseman. Throw to first. Heredia back in. Timeout for the pitcher to chase his hat. From the stretch, pitch is high. Throw to second, and it's into center field, but the runner will stay at the bag after the stolen base. 1 ball count to Navarrete, the first baseman. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dagalotto on deck. Fouled off the first base side, out of play. 1-2 the count. Ball skips past the catcher as the runner moves up 90 feet. That'll go as a wild pitch. And it evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Timeout at the plate. Another dirt timeout. Here's the wind and the 2-2 pitch, and it got him. I'll bring up the third baseman, Dagalotto. Runners at the corner, still 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Bronx led it 2-0 after the first inning. Tigers have scored 3 and threatening to add to that total. Runner off on the pitch. Salcido will cut it. And the runner will be safe. Ulysses executes the double steal. And another run scores, making it 4-2 in favor of the Tigers. Count is 0-1. Line shot off the first base side. And the count 0-2 to the Tiger first baseman. Bodie checks the runner at second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Stays high for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the count. Liner up the middle. Navarrete around third. He will score. Dagalotto with the RBI single. And it's now 5-2. Brings up the second baseman, Guerrero. Tigers have batted around in the inning. Strike on the outside corner. The 0-1 pitch inside for ball 1. 1-1 to count. Bodie from the stretch. 1-1 pitch coming up. On the outside for strike 2. And that pitch stays high for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Tigers with 5 across in the inning. Runner at first, 2 outs. Here's the 2-2 pitch from McCormick. just missed outside. And the count is full. Guerrero, the ninth batter to come to the plate for the Tigers. Got him leaning. The pitch was on the snap throw was on the wrong side to get the runner. They had him leaning towards second base. There's snap throw to first once again. Runner back in safely. Degalado, a good lead there at first. Here's the payoff pitch. Got him swinging. And that's 3 away in the inning. But the damage has been done by the Tigers. They score 5 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 Bronc errors and 1 left on for the Tigers. After 1.5, the score, Tigers 5, Broncs 2. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronc Baseball.
They said this place was too isolated to call home. They said it was too remote to build a community. And then one day, a farmer strung a copper wire from one fence post to another and changed everything. We didn't build the communities of Southwest Kansas. No, we just brought them together.
We go to the bottom of the second inning. Broncs trailing 5-2. Eli Bemis will lead it off. Will be followed by Grant Mendenhall. Then back to the top of the lineup with Drew Patterson. Broncs right fielder Eli Bemis leading it off. Bemis 1 for 5 in game 1 to start the season on Monday night. Leads it off here in the bottom of the second. Broncs trailing 5-2. Here's the pitch from Heredia, low and inside for ball 1. Here's the wind and the 1-0. And a chopper right back to the mound. Heredia gloves it. Tosses to first, 4-1 away. I'll bring up Grant Mendenhall. Bemis out 1-3 on the play. Mendenhall 1 for 2. And that one hit him. Brings up Drew Patterson. Patterson reached on an error and scored the Broncs' first run in the bottom of the first inning. Patterson bats from the right side. Runner off on the pitch, swing and a miss by Patterson. Mendenhall into second standing with the stolen base. Pitch to Patterson was a strike. Ready from the stretch, 0-1. Low for ball 1. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Armando on deck. 1-1 pitch off the glove of the catcher. Mendenhall on his way to third. That'll go on. That'll be as a passed ball, as it was off the glove of the catcher. In the count 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Patterson lifts it back and out of play. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Today is also opening day in the major leagues. The best day of the spring, opening day. 2-2 pitch fouled off by Patterson. Count remains 2-2. And that's low. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Opening day should be a holiday. Maybe there's probably some that would argue with me, but Patterson swings and misses down on strikes for out number 2. 2 days that we don't have holidays. And we should have a holiday the day after the Super Bowl and opening day of baseball season. Armando Salcido in the right-hand batter's box takes the first pitch low and inside for ball 1. There's the wind and the 1-0 pitch. A high fly ball towards left. Gallego drifting over near the foul line makes the play, and the Bronx are out of the inning. But they score 1 base runner in the inning. No runs, no hits. They strand a base runner and no Tiger errors. So after 2 complete, the score: Tigers 5, Bronx 2. Going to take a timeout. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronx Baseball.
The Ranch House community is here to assist with skilled rehab, long-term care, and assisted living. We offer a serene atmosphere, dedicated staff, delectable dining, and daily activities. The Ranch House is here to serve our communities. Please review our site at midwest-health.com/ranchhouse/ or call 620-371-4700 to schedule your tour today. We look forward to hearing from you.
We go to the 3rd inning. Bronx trailing Ulysses by the score of 5-2. Leading it off for the Tigers will be the left fielder Gallegos. He'll be followed by Reed, the shortstop, and the catcher Warner. Gallegos 0 for 1, flied out to the left fielder his first time up. Leading off the 2nd inning, actually. Fouls that one back for strike 1. Bodie McCormick back to the hill for his 3rd inning of work. And that one lifted, fouling out of play off the third base side. Gallegos down in the count 0-2. McCormick winds. Gallegos fouls it off once again. Count remains 0-2. Pitch is outside for ball 1, 1-2 the count. Ball stays high and the count even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch low and inside. And Gallegos, after being down in the count, has worked it full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch, high and outside. And a leadoff walk to Gallegos. Brings up the shortstop, Reed. McCormick from the stretch. Good lead at first by Gallegos. Pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Warner on deck. Runner off on the pitch inside. Throw to second. Not in time. One and one to count. Runner now in scoring position. Nobody out in the top of the third. Pitch outside. Ball 2. High and tight. Count goes to 3-1. Check of the runner. Here's the 3-1. Low and outside for ball 4. Two straight walks to lead off the inning. And there will be a pitching change for the Bronx here in the top of the third. Eden White to pitch for the Bronx. So while we make the change, we're going to take a timeout. We're in the top of the third. Tigers with 2 on, nobody out. And leading 5-2. We'll be back right after this.
Refinance your auto loan at Golden Plains Credit Union. You can lower your current auto loan rate by 2% with no payments for up to 90 days. Rates can be as low as 3.25% annual percentage rate. This offer applies to loans financed from another lender. Think of all the money you could be saving every month. This is a limited time offer, so stop by and ask about refinancing your auto loan today. Golden Plains Credit Union. Life with a touch of gold. Member NCUA.
Kearney County, a wonderful life opportunity, offers a wide range of opportunities to residents and visitors. Hunting, fishing, camping, golfing, and bowling provide recreation, plus the Lake and Rec Commission provides youth and adult programs in Lakin and Deerfield. Explore the rich history of the county by visiting the Kearney County Historical Museum or the historic sites throughout the county. Take advantage of what Kearney County has to offer. Contact Ralph Goodnight, Kearney County Economic Development, or on the web at www.kearneycountykansas.com.
Eden White takes the hill in relief of starter Bodie McCormick. First pitch gets away from the catcher, and the runners will advance. Oh and 1 to count. One 0 fouled back. Count evens 1 ball, 1 strike. Warner at the plate. Warner reached on an error and scored in the 5-run second inning. White's 1-1 pitch. High for ball 2. 2-1 to count. Eden White, timeout at the plate. Wind kicking up some dirt. White checks the runners. 2-1 pitch, low and in the dirt. 3-1 to count. And a pitch high and outside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. For the right fielder, Walker, the top of the lineup for Ulysses. And courtesy runner, number 14 for the catcher, Warner. Walker comes to the plate 0 for 1. He walked in the first, grounded out to the second, but drove in a run. And a bases loaded jam for the Bronx here in the top of the third, but nobody out. Strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to count. Here's the wind in the 0-1. Low and in the dirt, gets past Adric, runner up the line, he will score. One ball, one strike to count. White from the stretch, 1-1 pitch high for ball 2. Isak on deck for the Tigers. Two-one pitch, swung on and missed. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two-two pitch and a high fly ball. Drifting foul. And the count remains 2-2. Walker back to the box, 2-2. And got him swinging low and away. And the first strikeout for Eden White. And out number 1. Brings up the center fielder, Isak. Runner still at second and third. Now 1 out in the inning. Fouled that one off. For strike 1. Pitch low and away for ball 1. Count evens 1-1. Heredia on deck. Pitches out. Pitches outside for ball 2. I did too. That's why I hesitated. I thought maybe it was the delayed strike call. I think it's 2-1. Pitch back to the screen. Runner up the line will slide safely. Ball's loose on the infield, and 2 runs are going to score. First run scores on the passed ball. The second run scores on the error. And it's now 8-2 in favor of the Tigers. Tigers swept the Bronx a year ago. And to count 3 balls, 1 strike to the Ulysses center fielder. White now can throw from the windup. High fly ball twisting up the third base side. Cox in foul territory makes the play. And that's 2 away in the inning. Nice hustle play by Gabe Cox to get the out. That'll bring up the pitcher, Heredia. Heredia 1 for 2. An RBI single and a run scored in the second inning. Bats with nobody on, 2 outs here in the third. Fouls that one off and out of play up the left field side. 0-1 to count. Timeout called at the plate. The dimensions here at Laux Park: 353 down the left field line, 380 to straightaway center, 300 to right field. And believe me, none of them are going to be reachable today. Pitch is low for ball 1. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the wind in, the pitch. Behind the hitter. 2-1. Ground ball towards short. And off the glove of the shortstop into left center field. That'll be an error on the shortstop as Heredia goes to first. Second error of the inning by the Bronx. Brings up the first baseman, Navarrete. Navarrete 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the first, was hit by a pitch in the second. Big lead at first base by Heredia. And for the second straight time, Navarrete hit by a pitch. That'll bring up the third baseman, Degalado. Degalado with an RBI single his last time up. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. High fly ball. Slicing towards the third base side. And Caden Mings hat flying off. Leans to his left and makes the play. And that'll do it for the Tigers in the third inning. They pick up 3 more runs on no hits. They strand 2 base runners, and there were 2 Bronc errors. After 2.5, the score, Ulysses 8, Bronx 2. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronx Baseball on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. We're back after this.
A lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Good car.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides.
Oh, classic convertible.
And have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Adric leading off the bottom of the third for the Bronx, trailing Ulysses by the score of 8-2. Takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Heredia back to the hill for the Tigers. Heredia has allowed just 1 hit, and the Bronx scored 2 in the bottom of the first off of him. Pitch is high for ball 2. Gabe Cox on deck, Eden White to follow. Bouncing ball foul up the third base side. Count goes to 2-1. We're in the bottom of the third. Bronx trail 8-2. And a strike taken at the belt. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. Lined over the second baseman's head into right field. And they got him. The right fielder throwing out the base runner for out number 1. 9-3 on the putout. And that's 1 away. So the right fielder, Walker, with an assist on the putout, brings up Gabe Cox, takes high for ball 1. Well, you look at where he's playing, though. That's the benefit of the right fielder playing a roving second base. But with this one, yeah.
He thinks he's going to hold up at first anyway. And it's not like Adric's the fastest cat in the block.
Gabe fouls that one back to the screen. And he's down in count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'll bet you $100 he's not staying by Davidson. When they come, yeah, I bet he avoids him like.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Cox down on strikes for out number 2. Fourth strikeout on the afternoon for Heredia. Eden White at the plate, checks, takes ball 1. Here's the wind and the 1-0 pitch, low and in the dirt. Ball 2. 0-2 the count. High pop up the first base side. Navarrete over in foul ground makes the play for 3 away. The Bronx go quietly in the third. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, nobody left, and no errors. We go to the fourth. The Tigers 8 and the Bronx 2. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronx Baseball.
Red Ripsima established the Lakin Dairy in 1997 and is now a leading producer of high-quality milk for human consumption. The Lakin Dairy is proud to be a big part of the Kearney County economy and community. With fantastic, dedicated, and hard-working employees, the Lakin Dairy prospers in the heart of, as Fred calls it, the Midwest Feed Shed. Always supporting the Lakin High School students, the Lakin Dairy, a verified premium operation, is honored to call Kearney County home at lakindairy.com on the internet.
We go to the fourth inning. Bronx trailing the Tigers by the score of 8-2. Leading it off will be the second baseman, Guerrero. Eden White out for the fourth inning. First pitch low and away for ball one. White on in relief of starter Bodie McCormick. Here's the wind down to 1-0. Inside for ball two, 2-0. Gallegos to follow, and then it'll be the shortstop Reed. Two-0 pitch, high and tight, 3-0. Three-0 count to the Tiger leadoff hitter here in the top of the fourth. Dirt timeout once again. Misses inside, and a 4-pitch walk to start the inning for Guerrero. That'll bring up Gallegos, the left fielder. I don't think it is very big. Sweet. Nice. Infield, yeah, nice artificial turf baseball field in Byers, Colorado. Sweet. That's nice. Swing and a miss, and Gallegos down in the count 0-1. Got some budget money, Matt? You can do that out here? Pitch is inside for ball one. Yeah. I got some of that turf left. I could turf home plate probably for you. I grabbed some of that when they had it left over. Why, I don't know, but I have it. Swing and a miss. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'd like, you know how some of them have their back
Oh, yeah.
in here? I don't trust my cutting skills to cut it either.
I probably couldn't either. Here's the 1-2 pitch and a high fly ball lifted to left. Gabe Cox over a couple steps makes the play for out number 1. Gabe Cox has done a good job of playing the wind in left field today. But I'll tell you what, left field on a day like today is awful tough, and he's done a good job so far. Bring up the shortstop, Reed, with a runner at first, 1 out. First pitch in there for a strike. Warner on deck. White's 0-1 pitch on the inside corner for strike 2. Out at the plate, count remains 0-2. Misses inside for ball 1. Awful close to hitting the 0-2 count. Count is 1-2. Line shot into left center field. Cox on his knees and makes the play. And that's 2 outs. Runner retreats back to first. Sliding play by Gabe Cox for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Warner. Guerrero, the runner at first, a good lead at first base. Eden starts Warner out high with ball 1. Eden White from the stretch. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Got him. And courtesy runner will enter for the catcher. Takes us back to the top of the lineup for the right fielder, Walker. Walker 0 for 2. A strikeout and a walk, and an RBI groundout. First pitch off the bat. Fouls it back for strike 1. No 1-1 to count. 2 on, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 4th. Check back to the runner at second base. Here's the 0-1. Runner's off on the pitch and a high fly ball to left field. Cox barely had to move to make that play. And that'll do it for the Tigers in the 4th. 3 fly balls to Gabe Cox, and that'll do it for the Tigers. No runs, no hits. They strand 2, and no Bronc errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The score remains Ulysses 8 and the Bronx nothing. We'll take a timeout. We're back right after this.
Experience the best in customer service when you call the agency for an insurance quote. The agency can provide insurance coverage to meet your needs. Protect your financial future by calling the agency at 620-355-6789.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth for the Bronx will be Alex Luce. He'll be followed by Caden Mings and Eli Bemis. Bronx 2 runs on just 1 hit. They've stranded 3 base runners. The Tigers 8 runs on just 2 hits. They've stranded 8 base runners. Bronx have committed 3 errors. The Tigers have committed 1. Luce leads it off here in the fourth. Takes the first pitch at the knees for strike 1. Alex hit by a pitch his first time up. His third hit by pitch so far this year, just in a game and a half. Ground ball towards second. Second baseman bobbles up in time for the out. 4-3 on the put out, and that's 1 away. Brings up Caden Mings. Mings grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. He's 0 for 1. First pitch low and away for ball 1. We're in the first of 2 games here this afternoon. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Caden. Thought about it. Let up. Took the pitch for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Heredia winds. Strike called on the outside corner. 2-1 now the count. 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pulled foul. Count remains 2-2, excuse me. Eli Bemis waits on deck. 2-2 pitch and a ground ball up the middle. Shortstop over. And throws to first in time. 4-2 away. 6-3 on the put out. Oh, and 1 to count to Bemis. And a ground ball into left. And he's safe at first. Should have been watching the ball because it had rolled through the legs of the left fielder. Might have had a chance to stretch it to 2. Enrique Ortega to bat for Grant Mendenhall. Ortega's first at bat. Bats with a runner at first, 2 outs. Low and in the dirt for ball 1. Yep, a runner should never run through first base on a ground ball through the infield. Always be looking to go advance because, like I said, the left fielder let it go through his legs. He might have had a chance to be in scoring position. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at first, 2 outs in the home half of the fourth. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off the end of the bat. Fouled off third. And count 1 ball, 2 strikes. high pop-up. Drifting foul off the third base side, and the third baseman bobbles, can't handle it. And Ortega stays alive, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Check of the runner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball snagged by Heredia. Over to first in time for 3 away. 1-3 on the putout. That does it for the Bronx in the 4th. No runs on 1 hit. They strand a base runner. No Ulysses errors. After 4 complete, the score remains Ulysses 8, Bronx 2. We'll take a timeout. We're back right after this.
They said this place was too isolated to call home. They said it was too remote to build a community. And then one day, a farmer strung a copper wire from one fence post to another and changed everything. We didn't build the communities of Southwest Kansas. No, we just brought them together.
We go to the 5th inning. Tigers on top, 8-2. Isak will lead it off, followed by Heredia and Navarrete. Eden White back to the hill. Pitch is high and outside for ball 1. One-0 pitch rolled into right field. Enrique up with it, throws to first, not in time. Actually, a good idea to try. Still ought to be playing in with the wind blowing in, probably playing a little bit deep. Brings up Heredia. Heredia 1 for 3. Lifts that one foul off the third base side and out of play. 0-1 to count. Eden looks over at the runner at first. Pitch was high for ball 1. Timeout at the plate. There's the 1-1 pitch. Runner off on the pitch. Throw to second, not in time. Stolen base for Isak. Pitch was low for ball 2. 2-1 to count. Pitch is high for ball 3. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and missed. Count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. First baseman Navarrete on deck. Quick check of the runner. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Runner off on the pitch and a high fly ball. That'll be out of play up the left field side. Caught the tree and dropped into the left field bullpen. Count remains 3-2. Fouled back. White checks the runner. Here's the payoff pitch. Inside for ball 4. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Now for the first baseman, Navarrete. Navarrete 0 for 1, struck out looking in the first and has been hit by a pitch his last 2 times up. Pitch low and away, gets away from the catcher, and the runners advance. Pass ball for ball 1. Swung on. 4 strike 1. And that pitch low for ball 2. 2-1. Degalado on deck for the Tigers. 2-1, nobody out. We're in the top of the 5th. Tigers up by 6. Pitch taken at the knees for strike 2. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. White checks the runner, the 2-2. Fisted foul up to third base side. Check swing, count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that's inside for ball 4. That one almost looked too good to watch on the inside corner. But it was called ball 4. Now the bases are loaded for Degalado. Degalado 1 for 2 with a walk. RBI single in the second. Popped out in the third. White from the windup. And a roller towards third. Mings, let it go through the wickets. 1 run will score. Heredia will score. Navarrete goes to second. That'll go as an error on the third baseman. And it's now 10-2. Second baseman Guerrero up to the plate. Still nobody out in the inning. Popped foul backing out of play. Strike one to count. Eden looks in for the sign. Quick check back at the runner on the inside corner, and that's strike two. Pulled up to third. Mings will step on the bag for one, throw across, and it gets past the first baseman. So Navarrete out, 5 unassisted for one away. Guerrero is safe at first on the fielder's choice as Degalado goes to third on the error by the third baseman on the throw. Runner on his way to second. Ball gets past, but backed up by Armando. Stolen base for Guerrero. Pitch to Gallegos was a strike. He's down in the count 0-1. Ground ball towards third. Mings throw across. And not in time. He legged it out. Run will score. That'll be an infield single and an RBI for Gallegos. That'll bring up the shortstop, Reed. Pitch outside for ball one. Wondering if it was getting cloudy out, but I think the dust is just getting thicker to the west. There's not a cloud in the sky. Pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 to count to Reed. Runners at first and second, one out. We're in the top of the fifth. Eden White from the stretch checks the runners. Here's the 1-1. Misses inside for ball two. And he throws past the third baseman. Eden had stepped off. Runner from first will advance all the way to third. Another Bronc error and another run scored by the Tigers. Ground ball to second. Salcido up with it. Throw is low as the run scores. 4-3 on the putout. That's 2 away in the inning. That brings up Warner. Nobody on, 2 outs. Ball in foul territory, dropped by the first baseman. Strike one. Update our score. It is 13-2. 0-1 count to Warner. Misses low and away. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. White from the windup. Here's the 1-1. High for ball 2. Count goes to 3-1. Top of the lineup, Walker waits on deck. If Warner reaches, here's the 3-1, and he will with the ball 4 called. I'll bring up Walker. Walker 0 for 3 with a walk. He's also struck out. Flight out to the left fielder, Gabe Cox, to end the 4th. Line shot through the hole into left field. First hit for Walker on the afternoon. That brings up Isak. And a timeout on the field. And a pitching change will be made with 2 on, 2 outs. Drew Patterson to throw for the Bronx. Eden will go back to first. So some defensive changes. Drew Patterson on to throw for the Bronx. Eden will go back to first. Armando to short. Eli will slide over to second base. Outfield remains the same. Patterson on in relief. Made an appearance on Monday. Was not part of the decision. An ERA of 5.25. Drew with a walk and 3 strikeouts. He allowed 3 runs, 2 of them earned in 2 2/3 innings. So 2 on, 2 outs. We're still in the 5th. That'll bring up the left-hander, Isak. Pitch low for ball 1. Isak's second plate appearance in the inning. 1-0 pitch, line fair up the right field side. The pinch runner around will score. And an RBI double for Isak. And it's now 14-2. Brings up Heredia. Patterson now throws from the windup. Ball bounces past the catcher. Runner trots up to third base side. He'll score. Walker scores. Isak goes to third on the wild pitch. One and 0 count to Heredia. Just got a piece of it, fouled it straight back. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. Check swing, strike called on the outside corner, and a count 1 ball, 2 strikes. 7 runs across for the Tigers here in the top of the 5th. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Drew Patterson. Breaking pitch stayed high. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Line shot right to the third baseman for 3 away, but the damage has been done. The Tigers with 7 runs. On 4 hits, they strand a base runner, and there were 2 Bronc errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Tigers 15, Broncs 2. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronc Baseball on Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. Don't go away. At Lakin Drug, their mission is simple. They strive to provide professional pharmacy services with hometown hospitality. Lakin Drug's experienced staff leads with compassion and utilizes modern technology to fit all of your individual needs. Whether it's prescription medications or over-the-counter products, Lakin Drug has the answer to all of your questions. Lakin Drug at 610 O'Loughlin Street in Lakin is a proud supporter of the community of Lakin and Lakin schools. Drew Patterson leads it off for the Broncs in the 5th. Grounds it to the second baseman. 4-1 away. Brings up Armando Salcedo. Armando 0 for 2. Strikeout in the first. Flied out to the left fielder to end the second. Takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Count now 1-1. Here's the wind from Heredia. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop pulled the first baseman, but the first baseman able to touch the bag. And that's out number 2. The Broncs down to their last out here in game number 1. Adric to bat for the Broncs. Adric 1 for 2, an RBI single in the first and a run scored. Broncs led 2-0 at the end of 1. It's been 15 unanswered runs by the Tigers since. That pitch outside for ball 1. Gabe Cox on deck. 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. At the conclusion, we'll have the game totals for you. We'll sign off this broadcast, and then we'll open up Game 2's broadcast on YouTube. Fouled at the plate. 1-2 the count to Adric. Pitch taken low. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a fly ball to left field, and it's over his head and will roll to the fence. Adric around first on his way to second. At second, he's rounding, heading to third. The cutoff throw. And Adric in there with a triple. If that throw would have been on the mark, it was on the right side of the third baseman. It would have been a bang-bang play at third. But Adric there with the 2 out. Triple. Brings up Gabe Cox. That triple by Adric, just the third hit for the Bronx in this game. Gabe swings at a high and inside pitch for strike one. Heredia looking to go the 5-inning distance here. And that one fouled off for strike two. Cox 0 for 2. Drove in a run with a fielder's choice in the first. Struck out in the third. Fouled back. Count remains 0-2. Here's the wind and the 0-2 pitch. Inside for ball 1, 1-2 the count. Eden White on deck. If Gabe Cox can keep this game alive for the Bronx. They trail by 13 with 2 outs. Line shot just inside the line up to left field stripe. Cox around first on his way to second with the RBI double. That'll bring up Eden White. White 0 for 2. Strikeout victim in the first, fouled out. Last time up, that one up the middle, off the glove of the pitcher. And that'll go as an infield single. Cox moves to third. Heredia lunged to his right, just off the tip of his glove. That'll bring up Alex Luce. Luce 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner for strike one. Pitch is low for ball one. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Loose down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the Bronx down to their last strike. If Loose can keep things going, here's the 1-2 pitch. Low for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Once again, at the conclusion of the game, we'll give the game totals. We'll sign this one off and get ready for game 2 on our YouTube station. Here's the 2-2 pitch, low, and the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Eden White will be off on the pitch with the full count and 2 outs. Our game 2 is scheduled to be on the air at 6 o'clock. We'll be just a little bit behind scheduled with that. We'll be on the air probably more like 6:10-ish. Give or take a second or two. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off the end of the bat. White off on the pitch. Will have to retreat to first. And they'll do it all over again. Wind continues to howl here at Laux Park at Lakin. Here's the payoff pitch. Low. And the bases will be loaded. Got an update from softball up at the North Rec Complex. Lakin won 10-9 in game one. Caden Mings to the plate, swings and misses. He's down in the count 0-1. So the Lady Bronx softball team improving to 3-0 on this young season as Mings swings and fouls it straight back for strike two. Cox at third, White at second, Loose at first. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Fouled straight back, count remains 0-2. Swing and a miss. Mings down on strikes, and that's 3 away and the ball game. Bronx in that half inning. 1 run on 3 hits. They strand them loaded. And no Ulysses errors. The game totals. Ulysses, 15 runs on 6 hits. They stranded 9 base runners, committed 1 error. For the Bronx, 3 runs on 5 hits. They committed 5 errors while stranding 6. Winning pitcher for Ulysses, Heredia, pitching 5 innings, allowing the 3 runs while striking out 4. Bodie McCormick takes the loss, pitching 2 innings, had 2 strikeouts. And the Bronx with the loss fall to 1-1 on the season. So the Bronx lose it 15-3, even up their record at 1-1. That's going to do it for our broadcast here in game number 1. We'll sign this one off. We'll get set to load back up on our YouTube page for game number 2 on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. Once again, the Bronx lose it 15-3. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back on the air, I'm going to say roughly about 6